Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jasoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jasoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jasoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Bhanachari. Jamuna Tira Bhanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jasoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jasoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jasoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Bhanachari. Jamuna Tira Bhanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Shri Radha Madhava ki jai, Shri Radha Giridhari ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Mahamsa Parivrajaka Jaja Shodara Shri Srimad. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Jaja Shodara Shri Srimad. His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Saranta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. ISKCON Founderacharya, BBT Founderacharya, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Grantara, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Samveda Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, assembled devotees. All glories, Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Bhaja Govinda Govinda Gopala. 23. getting near the end of the 8th canto. One more chapter after this. Is there life after the 8th canto? Okay. Okay. Just want to make sure. Devotee told me that this morning that someone was commenting on his leading kirtan. They said he sounded like he was dying. And I should tell them, well, it's not as bad as if I were dead. Right? That's even, if you lead a kirtan, if you're dead, that's even worse. So he's okay. He's okay. 23, 9 and 10. Those are the, right? Okay. It is 9 and 10, but we'll be reciting 10, correct? Yes, okay. And I'm not trying to sound mellow. I have a cold. So in case you're thinking I'm trying to like sound mellow or something, it's actually I have a cold, some congestion. So here we go. Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, chapter 23. We're doing text 9 and 10 this morning. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Vatsa. This is not on the board. I'll just read this. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Vatsa Prada Bhadram Te Prayahi Sutalayalam Modamana Supautrina Gyatinam Sukham Avaha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear son Prahlad, all good fortune unto you. For the time being, please go to the place known as Sutala, and there enjoy happiness with your grandson and your other relatives and friends." There's one thing I like to say about the Sanskrit here, vatsa. Vatsa means calf. And the explanation, though, is that the relationship between the cow and the calf is so intense, the affection that cows have for the calves. So that's like vatsalya rasa. That word is used because it's seen that affection is so strong. Okay, here's the text we're on today. Nityam drashtasi mam tatra gadapanim avastitam madarshana mahalada dvashta karma nibandhananha nityadrashtasi mam tatra gadapanim avastitam madarshana mahalada dvashta karma nibandhanaha nityam drastasi mam tatra gadapanim avastitam madharshana mahalada dvashta karma nibandhanaha nityam drastasi mam tatra gadapanim avastitah madharshana mahalada dvashta karma nibandhanaha. Gadapanim avastidam Madarshana mahalada Nashtakarmadibandana. Ladies, I'm going to weigh in on this one. Nityam drastasi mam tatra Gadapanim avastitaha Madharshana mahalada Dastakarma nibandana. Anyone online across the miles?
Nityam drashtasi mam tatra
Nityam drastasi mam tatra
Gadapanim avashtitam
Gadapanim avastitam
Madarshana mahalada
Madharshana mahalada
Vashta karmani bandanaha.
Dvashta karmani bandana. Nityam, constantly. Drashta, the seer. Asi, you shall be. Mam, unto me. Tatra, there. In Sutalaloka. Gada panim, with a club in my hand. Avastitam, situated there. Madarshana, by seeing me in that form. Mahaalada, by the great transcendental bliss. Dvashta, having been vanquished. Karma nibandanaha, the bondage of fruitive activities. The Supreme Personality of Godhead assured Prahlad Maharaj, you shall be able to see me there in my usual feature with conch shell, disc, club, and lotus in my hands. Because of your transcendental bliss, due to always personally seeing me, you will have no further bondage to fruitive activities. Purport. Karma bandha, the bondage of fruitive activities, entails the repetition of birth and death. One performs fruitive activities in such a way that he creates another body for his next life. As long as one is attached to fruitive activities, he must accept another material body. This repeated acceptance of material bodies is called samsara bandhana. Samsara bandhana. To stop this, a devotee is advised to see the Supreme Lord constantly. The kaniṣṭha-adhikārī, or neophyte devotee, is therefore advised to visit the temple every day and see the form of the Lord regularly. Thus, the neophyte devotee can be freed from the bondage of fruitive activities. Om agyantimirandasya gyananjana salakaya chakshulan minitam dina taismai Sri Gurave namaha Shri Chaitanya manobhistam stapitam dina bhutale swayam rupa kadam ayam dadati svabadandikam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityanandasya Dvaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchakapatarubhascha kripa sindhubhe vacha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. All glories to all the assembled devotees. By your prayers, ardent prayers, as if you were dying, I'll try to say a few words. Okay. Worst for I'm going to say is, can you open the door a little bit more? That's my first word. Okay, just let some air in here, Adi. So in psychiatry, there's a term, the elephant in the room. Does anyone know what that means? Besides Dravida. Do you ever hear that expression? If you're in counseling and they say, there's an elephant in here. Do you know what's the elephant referred to? Yeah, it's a biggie, but no one's talking about it. Okay. So the biggie is we're all this karma bandha. We're all in this material world. We're stuck here. It's the bondage of fruitive activities, and it's the repetition of birth and death. It's a horrible situation to be in, but no one really wants to do anything about it. Amazing, isn't it? It's called illusion or maya. And when there's an awakening of Krishna consciousness or spiritual consciousness, one begins to understand, wait a second, I want to get out of here. And how to get out of here? Well, I have to give up fruitive activities. Well, is there anything besides fruitive activity? Means I want the fruit, I want to enjoy. Aham bhogi ishvaraham. You should have a t-shirt for everyone in the material world. It'd be a big seller. I'm the enjoyer, I'm the controller. It's like, hey, that's me. That's me. Yeah. I'm happy, perfect, powerful, and happy. We could support the whole movement selling t-shirts and mugs with that on it, right? Like that. Surrender to Krishna, no one's going to buy it. But if we aham bhogi ishvaraham. So that's our problem, is that consciousness, and what it does, it perpetuates the cycle of birth and death. What does Krishna say? Denas minyata dehe kumaram yovanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhiras tatra namuyati. We pass through this life. Everyone can see that. Kuchi kuchi ku. You're a little baby. As I celebrated the other day, one of my grandson's 2-year-old birthday. What a cute age. Until they get overtired. Then they become a tyrant, right? That's just... Adults are like that too, especially older people, right? Right, Javina? We get really mad when we don't get our nap. Okay. So, but kids, 2 years old, then they're 10, right? Ramapati, your kids are grown up. They're growing. I remember when I first visited you, your son wasn't even there. It was just your nice daughter. When they grow up, we're growing, then youth, Krishna says, Denusmiyatati, Komaram, Yovanam, youth, and then middle age, and then Jara, old age. And before my grandson's 2-year-old birthday, I was visiting my 94-year-old mom for a week. Talk about age, But Krishna says it doesn't stop there. You may not believe in the eternality of the soul, but Krishna says it's a fact. Therefore, tata, in the same way we've gone through this lifetime in so many different bodies, we're going to go to another body. And that's going to be determined by our consciousness. And says here, as long as one is attached to fruitive activities, he must accept another material body. It's given to you. And this is called samsara, the wheel of bondage. So how to stop it? Many people have many different ideas, but here we have what's known as the doubtless and fearless way of stopping the cycle of birth and death forever. Because even there is a different path where you can stop it for some time, but patanti ada, you come back down, right? The impersonal path, you can elevate yourself even to the Brahman, effulgence in the spiritual world, but you still come back down because you don't have attachment to the lotus feet of the Lord. Lord Brahma says you still come back down after some time because we're persons and we need personal relationships. So if you don't find happiness in the spiritual platform, try to look for happiness amongst people on the material platform. So there's some advice given here to Prahlad Maharaj. He's very... now Prahlad Maharaj, of the 9 processes of devotional service, he's one of the persons who attained perfection, one of the 9, isn't he? Was it offering prayers? What's his? Remembering the Lord? That was Prahlad. So just by remembering the Lord. And here, the Lord is saying, you go to Sutala Loka with your grandson, Bali Maharaj, beautiful place, it's like a heavenly planet, and I'm going to be there. He says, I'm going to be here in this Vishnu form. I'm guarding the gates for Bali Maharaj. And you'll always see me, and you'll always be in bliss. This is what this Mahalada. So Prahlad also means always blissful, right? And then this Mahalada means always, not just a little lada, but a Mahalada, a lot of bliss. A lot of bliss. I was just listening to a lecture the other day, and devotee was saying, you got to get a spiritual body. You have to get a spiritual body because the material body actually cannot handle the amount of bliss that is available in devotional service. Did you know that? You can't handle it. You short-circuit everything. The ecstasy of the soul in pure devotional service is so great, the material body can't handle it. That's why you have all these different ecstatic symptoms of fainting and this and that. The body really can't handle it. You start short-circuiting it. So you get a spiritual body, you can handle tidal waves of bliss. You know? In the material world, you're lucky to get a few drops. And in spiritual life, we're talking about tidal waves of just constant ecstasy and bliss when relating to Krishna. And that's what's being referred to here. My dear Prahlad, just, you're going to be in ecstatic ecstasy just seeing me all the time. And, you're in that position, so that means obviously your bondage to fruitive activities is over. For a person to appreciate the bliss and experience the bliss of Krishna consciousness, it's in direct proportion to how much the desire to enjoy in the material world is removed from our heart. It's a trade-off. It's a trade-off. You can't have both. Just like if you have something in your hand, right? Just like a few devotees have pens in their hands. If you want to have a rasgulla in your hands, you have to put the pen down, and then you can put a rasgulla in the same hand. You can't have both. I'm sure devotees could try, but the point is one or the other. So that's very telling. So we always have to ask ourselves, devotees are known as manishina. That means very thoughtful. You got to think about it, and not just every once in a while, but all the time. What do I want what do I want? Do I want this or I want that? The choice is always there. Even, as this devotee is referring to a lecture by Radhanath Maharaj, and Radhanath Maharaj is saying, even at the time of death, you actually have a choice, Krishna or Maya. Right up to the point of death. What are we going to choose? It's like we're ready to go out the door. Are we going to go out the door or are we going to stay here? That's pretty amazing. So those choices are made in direct proportion to our consciousness. And the more Krishna conscious we are, it's easier and easier and easier to always make the right choice, the Krishna conscious choice. And to the extent we're not Krishna conscious, it's a battle. Do I want to be Krishna conscious? Do I want back and forth, back and forth? You heard the expression, the term of they say the American Indians, natives, I guess you'd call them, natives. They had that story about the two dogs. You know that one? You heard that before? You got the two dogs. You got two dogs barking at you, the good and bad. Which one wins out? Which one would be the most, The one you feed. The one you feed. So we got the two voices going all the time. So neglect the one that's telling you to do stupid things and feed the one that's telling you to go back home, back to Godhead. So what I wanted to bring up is described here. Krishna is saying, just by seeing my beautiful transcendental form, you're of course, he's already on that platform, but there's so many verses about seeing the form of the Lord. One makes rapid. Actually, Prabhupada, this isn't the purport. The kaniṣṭha-adhikārī. Raise your hand if you're a kaniṣṭha-adhikārī. Raise your hand if you're not even a kaniṣṭha-adhikārī. Okay, a bunch of humble devotees here. Okay. Neophyte devotees, that's why the temple's there. They come every day and see the form of the Lord, and it's so powerful. Come to the temple, because you don't just see the Lord. You come to the temple, there's kirtan, there's a devotee association, you may catch a class. There's always prasadam, right? So going to the temple means these different things, visiting the temple. And maybe even they'll grab you and give you some service. If they're expert, they'll get. So all of these things, but especially just darshan of the Lord is so powerful. It just removes so much of that dirty things in the heart and purifies the heart. Now there's 64 different, Rupa Goswami in the Nectar Devotion, he mentions 64 different items of devotional service. Whew, that's a lot. But fortunately he's reduced it down to the 5 most important. Like that. In copywriting, I won't tell you how I know this as far as copywriting, but some of those who know me, the magic numbers in copywriting, if you're going to sell something or throw out a number that's for people, the benefits of a particular product or book or something, you know what it is? 7. Don't go above 7. That's about what people can handle. In fact, even phone numbers, 7. There's a reason for that. You know that? 858-2500. Who do you get? Who do you get now if you dial that number? Is it around anymore? Is it you? Okay. So there's a reason there's 7 numbers, because 7 you can handle. After 7, it's like the mind starts shutting down. So in the same with benefits, or to remember stuff. So Rupa Goswami doesn't say 7, he says 5. There's 5 of those 64 which are the most important and most powerful. Would you like to know what those 5 are? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained this in his teachings of Sanatana Goswami. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavat Shravanam Mathura Vasa Shimutira Shraddhaya Sevan. Okay? And there's a whole chapter in Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, or Nectar Devotion, we can read from, which describes these. But Sadhu Sangha, association devotees, right up there. Sadhu Sangha. Nam Kirtan, the chanting of the holy names. Bhagavat Shravan, hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam. Mathura Vasa, living in a holy place like Mathura. And then what we're discussing today, the Sri Mutira Shraddhaya Sevan, seeing and serving the devotee, the Murti of Krishna, with great faith and devotion. These 5 activities out of the 64 are the most potent. And if you'll bear with me, I can read a little bit. Is that okay? You can meditate on these 5. Rupa Goswami has stated that 5 kinds of devotional activities, namely residing in Mathura, worshipping the deity of the Lord, reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, serving a devotee, and chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, are so potent that a small attachment for any one of these 5 items can arouse the devotional ecstasy even in a neophyte. Isn't that a wonderful benediction? Just a small attachment for even one of them. Regarding worship of the form of the Lord, now this is a very wonderful verse that many times is quoted. Rupa Goswami says this. He's giving some advice, saying, my dear friend, he's talking, my dear friend, if you still have any desire to enjoy the company of your friends within this material world, then don't look upon the form of Krishna, who is standing on the bank of Keshi Ghat, a bathing place in Vrindavan. He is known as Govinda, and his eyes are very enchanting. He's playing upon his flute, and on his head there's a peacock feather, and his whole body is illuminated by the moonlight in the sky. So don't look that way. Don't look that way if you're still attached to being with your friends. Don't look, don't look. If you want to be with stay in the material world. The purport of this verse is that if someone becomes attached to the Sri Murti, the deity of Lord Krishna, by worshipping at home or the temple, then he will forget his relationships of so-called friendship, love, and society. In other words, they're not that important. They're not the all in all. One's not neglectful. Thus, it is the duty of every householder to install deities of the Lord at home and to begin the process of worshipping along with all his family members. This will save everyone from such unwanted activities as going to clubs, cinemas, and dancing parties, and smoking, drinking, etc. All such nonsense will be forgotten if one stresses the worship of the deities at home. Now, Rupa Goswami further writes, my dear foolish friend, it's getting a little heavy now. The last one was my dear friend, now it's my foolish friend. I think that you have already heard some of the auspicious Srimad Bhagavatam, which decries seeking the results of fruitive activities, economic development, and liberation. I think that now it is certain that gradually the verses of the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam describing the pastimes of the Lord will enter your ears and go into your heart. In the beginning of the Bhagavatam, it is said that unless one has the ability to throw out, just like garbage, the fruitive results of ritualistic ceremonies, economic development, and becoming one with the Supreme Lord, one cannot understand the Srimad Bhagavatam. In the 2 above verses, by Rupa Goswami, there are some metaphorical analogies, and indirectly he condemns the association of materialistic society, friendship, and love. People are generally attracted to society, friendship, and love, and they make elaborate arrangements and strong endeavors to develop these contaminations. But to see the Murti, or form of Radha and Krishna, is to forget such endeavors for material association. Rupa Goswami composed this verse in such a way that he seemingly praises the association, of material association of friendship, love, and was condemning the audience of Govinda, the Sri Murti. This metaphorical analogy is constructed in such a way that things which seem to be praised are condemned, and things which are to be condemned are praised. So he mentions 2 of the things. Seeing the deities and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. They're going to ruin your life. They're going to ruin your material life. Isn't that wonderful? They're going to just end it. Just by that association, one's heart becomes purified. Rupa Goswami has similarly described the transcendental nature of relishing topics concerning Krishna. Similarly, there's a statement about hearing and chanting the Maha Mantra. Here's number 3. It is said that saints have been able to hear the vibrating strings of the Veena in the hands of Narada, who is always singing the glories of Lord Krishna. Now this same sound vibrations entered my ears, and I am always feeling the presence of the Supreme Personality. Gradually, I am becoming bereft of all attachment for material enjoyment. That's 3. Now 4, he's talking about Mathura Mandala. Again, Rupa Goswami has described Mathura Mandala. I remember the Lord standing on the banks of the Jamuna River, so beautiful amid the Kadamba trees, where many birds are chirping in the gardens. And these impressions are always giving me transcendental realization of beauty and bliss. This feeling about Mathura Mandala and Vrindavan described by Rupa Goswami can actually be felt even by non-devotees. So, and he's describing just going there, you feel like you're in the spiritual world. All these qualities prove that Mathura and Vrindavan are transcendentally situated. Otherwise, there would be no possibility of invoking our transcendental sentiments in these places. Such transcendental feelings are aroused immediately without fail after one arrives in Mathura or Vrindavan. Because it's such a hassle to get there, whew, isn't it? It's like, boy, after you arrive there, it's like, I'm so glad I'm here. Hare Krishna. So, now he's saying here, now we were talking about 4. What do we miss? Association of devotees. Let's see if he has a thing in here, or did I skip over it? But he's making a point here that he's making these points that just by going to Vrindavan you may feel ecstatic. There's another statement in the Nectar Devotion, one verse about going to Rath Yatra. Just by seeing Jagannath, one becomes filled with ecstasy. Or the holy name, one feels ecstasy. So he's making the point here that some may think, oh, that's an exaggeration. I chant Hare Krishna, nothing happened to me. You know, I'm not rolling on the floor at Mangalartik. You know, why is he saying this? But the point is, he's making the point that it is possible. It may not be for everyone, because it's a matter of one's Krishna consciousness. It's just at a certain point, that one activity just, you could say, pushed you over the edge. Sooner or later it happens. It comes to that point where just that one thing, like that. So it is possible, if one's heart is pure, that these activities, but even the sentiment or appreciation, one appreciates how beautiful the deities are, one appreciates prasadam, one appreciates devotee association. All these sentiments, they may not be on the level of pure ecstatic love, but they're very, very purifying. Prabhupada a few times had mentioned that in reference to the neighbors in Los Angeles temple in the old days, he was saying they may not, just to appreciate the devotees. They're nice people. Prabhupada said they make a lot of advancement. Just that one thing. They may not come to the temple, they may not engage in any devotional activities, but if you simply appreciate the devotees, you make a lot of spiritual advancement. So these 5 activities are what's recommended, and he's just pointing out that all of them are very, very, bring about an awakening of Krishna consciousness. And as he said earlier, even a small attachment, not even a great attachment, but a little attachment. Oh, I want to see Krishna today. I definitely want to take prasadam today, right? That's a no-brainer. That one's right up at the top of everyone's list. It's like, Hare Krishna. In fact, I want to take it all day long, right? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and maybe even a little something after that, right? The last offering. But chanting the holy names, just a little attachment. Yes, I want to chant kirtan and japa. I want to see the deities. I want to stay in a holy place. That's it. We most likely will not go live in Vrindavan. Most likely. That may not happen in our lifetime. But the temple is the same. It is a transcendental abode. And also your home, where you live, you turn that into Vrindavan by worshiping Krishna there. And it's also said that just by meditating on being in these holy places, and there's so many verses, you go into a meditation. Sometimes pujaris will do that. It's recommended. There's a whole meditation on Mayapur, Sridham Mayapur. There's a meditation on Vrindavan. And you place your consciousness there, even though you're physically not there, your consciousness is there. So beneficial, these different activities. And hearing the Bhagavatam, that's something we can do. And if one starts feeling more and more happiness in Krishna consciousness doing these things, and one's the tight grip of the desire for fruitive activities starts to slacken. I'm just not so concerned about these anymore. I'm not really concerned about these anymore. That's signs that it's working. It's working. These are it's a very powerful medicine. What is that word for that? Aushadhi? Yeah. Oh, thank you. From our editor in the back there. Medicine. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says medicine. It's medicine. We got a disease. You don't take medicine unless you're sick, right? So we got a disease. It's called, you know what the disease is called in Sanskrit? Bhava Rog. It's a bad one. Oh, it's horrible. It's worse than COVID, like that. It's a real epidemic. Every living entity in the material world has got Bhava Rog, and so they call it heart disease. It's right in the middle of the heart, the spiritual. It's bad, but there is a medicine, and that's Krishna consciousness. Specifically, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is referring to chanting the holy names. It cures the disease in the heart, and that desire to forget Krishna, to enjoy in the material world, which has been with us a long time. If you want to develop a good quality or bad quality, you need to do it for how many days? 21. They say 21. That's what they say. 21. Whatever the habit is, it can be a bad one. Like, I want to overeat. Sankarshan says, I want to overeat. So for 21 days he overeats. It'll become like part of your lifestyle. I'm just picking on you, okay? So bad or good, you do it for 21 days, it actually becomes a habit like that. So how about 21 billion lifetimes? That's why it's so hard to be Krishna conscious all the time. Yeah, it's tough. No, Krishna even says to Arjuna when he asks about controlling the mind. He says, undoubtedly, it's very, very difficult. The mind is just like stopping the wind, trying to stop the wind. It's like that. Chanchala, it's strong. It's all the different words he uses. But he says, by constant practice and endeavor, you can do it. It can be done, especially because devotional service is non-different from Krishna, so who's stronger than Krishna? Krishna can very easily control Maya. It's his energy. It's moving exactly as he wants it to move, just as when you move your hand, if there's a shadow, the shadow follows the hand exactly. So actually Maya is moving exactly as Krishna wants her to move. So, if you want, the potency of devotional service is so strong that these habits which we've had since time immemorial can actually, in one lifetime, be completely removed. That is the power of Krishna consciousness, of devotional service. And these 5 different activities of the 64 are considered the most potent. So we definitely take shelter of these every single day. On that happy note, I'm going to end the class and open it up for other glorification of these 5 processes of devotional service, or any questions or comments. Or if everyone's just completely satisfied and want to move on to the next activity on the schedule, which is prasadam, we can do that.
Thank you, Dharmasetu Prabhu.
You're welcome, Govardhan.
You're mentioning this letting go of one thing to get another. I was at Balboa Park and I was trying to stop this couple. And they came to my table, and the person...
How were you trying to stop them?
I was telling
you ran out in front of them and said, stop!
No,
stop!
I call them
You're
over.
going to hell! No, what did you do?
But I was explaining the books, and then the boy, he was very interested. But he had 2 things in his hand. One was his girlfriend's hand, and the other one was coffee. So when I was trying to give him the book, he said, I can't, my hands are full. I said, it's okay, let go of one of them. He said, I can't. And then the girlfriend was pulling him away also.
There you go, he tried.
Next time. He'll be there another time.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. So as far as devotee association goes, isn't it the most potent when it involves Krishna Katha? I know like a moment's association with a pure devotee can have an effect, but can you discuss a little bit about the different nuances of devotee association?
Well, you made a good point. Devotee association means what is that? Kaniṣṭha ramanticha. What is that verse? Machita makata prana bodhayanta parasparam. That you're always talking about Krishna. Devotees are always hearing it together. When they come together, always something about Krishna, 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 Krishna. That means the devotees. Materialists, they talk about materialistic things. Shukadeva Goswami says they have unlimited topics. They're talking about so many different things. But devotees, yes, talk about to Krishna and service to Krishna and how to do the service. It's all Krishna-centric. Yes. Devotee association always means you want to try to serve. You're not trying to take service from devotees. You're always looking for the opportunity to serve the devotees, whatever way you can. Prabhu, can I do something for you? What is it said about Raghunath Das Goswami? He paid his respects to 1,000 devotees every day. How many have you paid obeisances today?
I don't know. I try to do as many.
No, I'm asking you. What do you think? Throw out a number since you woke up this morning.
I don't even know. I don't keep track.
Okay, well, do you have a ways to go between now and 1,000?
Of course.
Okay, that's all I'm trying to find. Okay, so that's devotee association. Always very respectful, always looking for service. Those who are senior to you, you want to hear. Those who are on the same level, you're discussing devotional service, and those who are junior, you're trying to help them in their Krishna consciousness. That's why you relate to the different levels of devotees. But always very respectful, doesn't matter who the devotee is, and always looking for some service. Like that, and refusing to take service from other devotees. Oh, no, I don't want to take your service. Let me do something for you. Is that okay?
One other quick question: Is there any slight difference between Lada and Ananda, or not?
Who's our Rasika here? What is the little nuances between Alada and Ananda? Are there two kinds of blisses we're talking about? You get both when you sign up. Don't worry, you'll get both when you sign up. But is there a difference?
Well, first of all, that word Alada is very pertinent, since isn't this Prahlad speaking?
Yeah.
Prahlada. What are we saying every day? Yeah, Prahlada Hlada Dahine. It's actually the Ahladana. We sing Prahlada Lada, but it's actually Prahlada Ahlada. Ahladani. One is the potency, and it emphasizes the potency. Is this Ladani potency that's personified by Radharani.
That's right.
And it when you're properly exposed to that, when you're glorifying and you're serving, then you experience the result of that potency, which is Ananda. That's the way I understand it.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. There's different ways of saying the same thing.
I think maybe dead. Balaram.
We have a problem with batteries and the charger.
No, this. Huh?
We can use the head mic for this.
He ordered new batteries or new microphones?
We don't know if the charger, he doesn't know if the charger or batteries are ordered.
We have plenty other new rechargeable batteries we haven't even used yet, so if he has not already bought more, we have plenty more.
In the analogy of the Bhakti Lata Beach, the creeper of devotion growing, there's different things going on in that analogy. There's the mad elephant, which is Vaishnava Aparad, offending devotees. Now in that description, as far as I could remember, there is a mention of building a fence around that creeper, and that fence is the association of pure devotees. And specifically, apparently it's a very strong fence, because that fence protects the creeper from the mad elephant. Now how is it that by associating with pure devotees or advanced devotees, how is it that we are protected from Vaishnava Aparad?
Okay. you level off with the people you associate with. Did you know that? You level off with the people you associate with the most. That's human nature. And even materialists know that. I remember reading one article or a book. It brought up that the wealthiest people, if you read these books, you know, Millionaire Next Door and different things like that, that's dating myself, that's about 20 years old. They even say they're very careful about who they associate with. In order to be powerful and rich, they only associate with powerful and rich people, and they won't give their time to people who are less than they want to be. And that's just natural, because you level off. In fact, it's three. The three people you associate the most with, that's what you'll become like. Isn't that interesting? So, building that fence around you of advanced devotees, now you may not have physical presence of very, very advanced devotees. Then what to do, then that's hearing from them, rendering some service and so on. But to keep yourself in that good association, because in that good association you'll want to become like them and have all those qualities that they have. And advanced devotees, they're just not into Vaishnava aparad. It's just not on their, it's not in their things to do, it's not on their to-do list. Neophyte devotees, materialists, they got Vaishnava aparad on their to-do. My to-do list today is offend someone. Okay. In fact, it says someone in the mode of ignorance, they just enjoy right. In the mode of ignorance, Krishna says, someone enjoys insulting others. Yeah, they're into it. They just love insulting others. And you see today in the media and the materialistic society, it's just everyone's just into insulting others, right? It's a whole atmosphere of creating enemies and insulting each other, stewing in that. So Vaishnava culture is just the opposite. It's just not on the daily to-do list. It's just not, doesn't exist. So that's why that good association, there's no opportunity or desire. It's just not there. It's just not there. So, and if it bubbles up, you think, oh my goodness, it becomes so evident, and it's like, ooh, this is ugly, this is horrible, I wouldn't want to do this. Why would I want to insult anyone? Because, if you want to insult someone, you can. Even Krishna got insulted. Look at Shishupal, right? Just stood right up and just went at him. And Krishna was counting, because he told his mother, I'll give him 100, 100? I'll let him insult me 100 times. But because when he was born, the first thing he said wasn't, Mama, Dada. The first thing he said was, I hate Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, I hate Krishna. He started blaspheming Krishna right out of the crib. Like that. And his mother's like, oh my God. And Krishna's the uncle, right? It was uncle? Some relative, right? And he said 100 times. So the Rajasuya sacrifice was getting 95, 96, and then the Sutta Sanchaka came out. But if you want to insult Krishna, Krishna's the most wonderful, beautiful, wonderful person. But still someone wants to criticize Krishna. So if you want to insult someone, go for it. If that's in your heart, you'll insult everyone and everyone. It's amazing. But if it's not in your heart, even the most despicable person, you won't even criticize them. You'll say, oh, they're suffering, and I show some compassion. What an amazing twist in the heart. The most wonderful person, you'll criticize if you're a materialist. The most downtrodden person, horrible qualities, you won't even think of criticizing them. You'll actually think yourself lower than them. There's a guru, Duryodhana guru. He told Yudhisthira and Duryodhana, it was Drona, I guess, Dronacharya told, I want you to go out today. This is your homework. Go out into the kingdom. He told Yudhisthira, try to find someone lower than you. And Duryodhana, you go try to find someone who's better than you. So next day they came back. So how'd the homework go? And Duryodhana said, I couldn't find anyone better than me. I'm just tops. I'm the tops. And Yudhisthira said, I couldn't find anyone more fallen than me. See the consciousness like that. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, microphone for Dravida Prabhu? Microphone or one of the articles of amplification.
No. So this discussion reminds me of the Sadhu Sangashtaka, the 8 verses near the very beginning of Kapila Dev's instructions to his mother. That's all about Sadhu Sangha. And the very first word in that Ashtaka is prasangam. Prasangam madaram pasham atmana kaviyo vadu. Prasangam there means strong attachment, very strong attachment. So what the first verse says, that every wise person knows that the strong attachment that they have for these things of this world, we have to transfer to the sadhus. That's that attachment. And then the question is, who's the sadhu? And so the famous verse, Titikshava Karunika, like that, you know. And then it's interesting enough, I won't go through all the verses, but the most famous verse in Metsa, maybe Titikshava is equally famous, Satam Prasangam Mama Viryasan. So the same word is used. So what is Prasangam? You know, like pra always intensifies, right? So it can mean strong attachment, and it can also mean strong association. And so what is that strong association? Oh, it's gathering together and hearing my glories, right? And then what does that do? It nourishes as Shraddha, Rati, and Bhakti step by step. Your faith increases within the association of sadhus who you're attached to because you respect them and so forth. You've cultivated that. And from that, Shraddha, attachment, and Bhakti, which means prema. So that's the key. But that prasangam means that not just being in the same room, but it means hearing, serving, and cultivating that attachment for the persons who are by nature so kind and so giving because they're pure devotees. And then you can become like them. Then you can advance. On the other hand, if you have this armor, you don't want to be attached. In fact, you find fault. And you want to criticize them, arrest them. We had that era in ISKCON where the devotees were getting arrested on the street and all that. Then you're not going to progress, just the opposite. So that prasanga is a nice word to meditate on.
Anything else? Microphone? Prabhu here? Microphone. Hare Krishna.
I just had a quick question about living in Vrindavan being one of the 5. I guess is it actually true that if you don't live in Vrindavan, like you live in the U.S. or something, but you have your home is kind of a temple, you install and worship the deity, is it actually true that could be equal to living in Vrindavan in terms of fulfilling that kind of 5th principle?
Yes, that's what Prabhupada mentions in the purport. But still, that's the Dham. It's non-different from Krishna. So it's very, very special, but may not be able to go there. So, another example may be given, just like Prabhupada said, our temples like foreign embassies. You go to a foreign embassy, just like if you go to the foreign embassy for India in Los Angeles, it's still in LA, or is it up in San Francisco? So they moved out. So you go there, it's just like being in India. Everything's late, all these different things. There's chai spilt on the computer, and it's just like India. But the law is just like the law of the United States doesn't apply culturally and legally in that building. It's just like being in India. You sit and wait in big stacks of paper, and I'll find your file. It's somewhere here, like that. So the temple, whether it's here or in your home, it's like that embassy. It's to the extent we're Krishna conscious, it's no different. And then we have our heart. To the extent we're Krishna conscious, our heart is the temple of the Lord. And Krishna's always in our heart. But when we're pure, we can actually perceive Krishna. And Prabhupada says about, reading recently about a diamond throne, Prabhupada said, yes, you place a diamond throne in your heart and place Krishna on there, and you're worshiping him, offering so many wonderful foodstuffs and flowers and garlands. Prabhupada said, diamond throne. So that devotee, his heart is Vrindavan. So there's different ways in which we can do that. But still, one should visit. One may not be able to live there, but one should visit the Dham. Absolutely. Go visit Ramapati in Mayapur when he's there. Excellent prasadam at his house. He and his wife are excellent cooks. So we can end here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.